All right, so welcome to the Wealth Coach and Project. Dr. Harry Benjamin is the name. We are building it on the Xtreamfx Global Academy platform. We're super excited about what it is that we have our hands on. We have an academy that you can learn how to trade, financial services that you can tap into and benefit from. We also have a health and wellness products, and we have a very aggressive affiliate marketing program that I was personally able to start with a little over $100 and started introducing friends and family. You can see $168 here to get registered, and started earning like $500 a month and $1,000, $2,500. I've even been paid as much as $2,500 in a week right there in this program. So this is an amazing program if you choose to either focusing on the marketing side or come in and get our education and learn how to trade the financial markets. We have a $7 trillion market that we are tapping into, whether it's the Forex, the index, the safety trade, which I'm going to emphasize, and then the core academy, and affordable. $89 a month if you have a student ID, $99 a month if you don't, $159 a month if you want to add Nadex and binary, and $199 a month if you want to tap into the US 30 Academy. And the safety trade. The safety trade technology is only $599 for the year, and you pay $75 a month for the signal. So you could come in and get the education for $99 a month or one of the education packages. Then as you learn how to use you learn more about trading, then you could buy the safety trade product and then pay $75 a month to get signals from what's called a scanner. So let's look at the product that you purchased for $599. This product is super fantastic. It's very easy to use. And Alan, as I was sharing with you, man, I'm going to show you one trade. And I actually opened this trade, right? And so I was on the chart, and as you know, we look for four simple things. Price was below the green line, the green arrow popped up. So you see this happening, right? Then when this happened, the market went down. Okay, when the market went down, that was the retest. So the market going down, the average trader would think market's going down. Look at this. Looks like head and shoulders. There's a shoulder here. There's a head here. There's another shoulder here. So it looks like the market's ready for a sell-off, which it sold off a little bit. But this indicator here shows us that green, 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 red, right? So when it was selling off, it was still green, green, green. And when it turned red, that's an indication that we could enter what's called a buy, all right? So put in a buy just above this line here to enter that buy. And of course, you could go for 2 pips, but for those of us who are able to, you open 2 trades, right? One, you go for 2 pips or 3 pips, the other one, you let it run. And let's look at what happened. Let's see what happened. Started to run. So the first trade would have been closed at 2 pips. The second one, look at what happened to the second one. Look at this. And I didn't even open a second one, but look at this. That's 93 pips. No, it's more than that. From this line, red line here to here. That's 90 at the top of it, right? It's 101 pips at the top of it. Even if you didn't catch all of it, even if you caught it to here, or you caught it to here when it pulled back, well, that's 100 pips. So if you were trading at $1 per pip, that's $100. If you're trading at $10 per pip, right, that's $1,000. This one trade here that happened earlier on. This is a 1 minute chart. So each of these candlesticks is a minute. So if we put a line here, put a vertical line here, we could see that this literal transaction, I would change this to the 1 hour chart. We could see how much time has passed since that, right? See, each of these candles here down the bottom, or you want to count it from the top, each of them is an hour. So that's 1 hour, 2 hour, and the 3rd hour just began, right? Third hour, that's the 3rd hour. So that's 3 hours, and the 3rd hour is now developing. Now, 3 hours, $1,000, just like that. One transaction because of the power of this technology. Man, I'm just so grateful for it. And this is just, I was in the trade and I jumped out of the trade here. It's okay, I won my 3 pips, I was done. And then I watched all of this go on. Alan, know,
Going up Jacob's ladder.
man, you know, I was here saying, you know, man, this market has been buying since yesterday, right? Because if you go back, you see all this buying starting from way down here. There's another 1 minute trade right down here where it came below the line, and you would have entered the trade here. What about if we had joined the trade here, right? Man, this from this point, right, to wherever it is right now. I don't know where it is right now, but that's like maybe 800 or 900 points, something like that. This is super fantastic that took place. So I was looking at it saying, man, this bought up so much. There's no way. There's no way, right? Let me see if I can measure. Right, yeah, I can. Right, so from here, this one, and I think I saw this one too, right? That's 199. That's 200 points. That means if you trade $10 per point, that's $2,000. $2,000 between here to here. And the technology only costs $599. And these are the trades that are being called out over and over and over again, right? This is a super fantastic system. You know, anybody that doesn't have one of these, I'm telling you, they're leaving money on the table. even this red arrow popping up, right? Because it's setting up now to tell us that coming up, right? The price is above the line. See, it went down below the line, right? That's what the red arrow tells us. It's not going to go down. The market goes down, but we're waiting for it to set up here. When all of this turns red and then this turns back green, that's a safe trade. It doesn't mean that there are not other trades going on, but that's the safest trade that we could wait on to make sure that we have the opportunity to truly get pips out of the market, you know, because we know what direction the market is going in. So this is amazing. Wow, 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 wow. Man, you know, so as I was saying, this one, you know, looking at this 100 points that just happened in front of my eyes, that's okay, all right, no problem, no problem. I'll catch you again. Right? Because they're happening over and over again. This is like, I can't count how many times I've jumped out of trades that went, you know, kept going. I don't know if I was in this one. I can't remember if I did this one. But, you know, just staying on the NAS chart is, you know, such a blessing. So I know it's going to sell off. How much is going to sell off this evening? Because right now it started selling off already. And, you know, it's going to sell down to this 15-minute safety trade line. All right, because it's, or the 5 minute, no, not 15 minutes, let's go to the 5 minute. So it's already at the 5 minute. All right, so it's about to activate a 5 minute buy. All right, so right now would be a good time, but because the market is about to close, now would be a great time to do that. But right now it's about to activate a 5 minute buy. So if we move this line, I will put it, let me leave that one. We'll put another one in. So right here, okay, I'll go back to the 1 minute chart. So, you know, Alan, you're getting some bonus today, right? So you come to the 1 minute chart and you could see that it's started buying already, right? It came down, touched that 5 minute safety trade line and started to buy up. So it's going to buy up a bit. How much? If it comes down a little deeper, that comes down below the trade line, then this will turn red, and this will give you the indication that you should go ahead and put in a 5 minute buy. And the reason why we should is because on the 15-minute time frame, it's still green. And then the good thing is that all the higher time frames are all buys. So if you go ahead and put in a 5 minute buy, which I will do after the session closes and it reopens, you know, depending on where this is, I'm going to go for a 5 minute buy and just catch those pips in going up. Just who knows, it might just come back up to here. But what I saw as well is that this is a premium selling area because it came up here, it reversed, came up here, it reversed, and created what are called double tops. So when you see this happening, this gives you the indication that there's going to be a little selling going on because it came up, tried to get through here, reverse, came up, tried to get through here, reverse, and then it created a lower high. You could see two lower highs than these two highs, And then this one is a slightly lower than this one. And then this is lower, this is lower, this is lower. So this is good, but in the process of it going lower, it ran into, and that's how the safety trade technology is so powerful. On the 5-minute time frame, you could see it's now creating a buy opportunity. On the 1-minute chart, you could see that this is now changing, because here you could have said, okay, here's another opportunity where it turned red. So you could say, okay, let me try and get into a trade, but the market started to reverse, so you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't activate your trade anyway, because the last couple of buys were these, right? This one, small buy, didn't bother to trouble that. This one was another small buy again, didn't bother to trouble that. And you see, still bought up, good, nice profit. But then I saw that the sell was coming up, right? Because of these double tops over here. So knowing this, I got some of this sell, got some of this sell, and now I'm waiting to get some of this buy on the 5-minute to catch a buy here as it reverses and goes back up. How much? Oh, we don't know, but we'll catch some of it. And then when it's exhausted, it's going to come back down to the 15-minute to get a buy again to go back up. And then it's going to come back down to the 30-minute, and then it's going to come back down to the 1 hour. So that's the cycle of it, right? When it came down to this 1 hour, man, and you know, I saw this. I literally, in fact, I was thinking, you know, I should put in a 1 hour buy, but I wasn't confident about it. And that's the challenge. I need to just trust the system, because look at this 1 hour buy. From here, this is the 1 hour buy this morning, right? That started this morning. That's, how much is that? 320.
329.
Yeah, 300 and in fact, it's because it went up to right to this red line. 331 points.
Yeah.
And this was this morning. If $10 per pit, that's $3,300. And the system call it right there, right there, right there. Okay. And I was literally saying, you know, I should put in a 1 hour, because I'm not used to doing it. I haven't done the 1 hours yet. I'm just kind of looking at them, trying to figure them out. And man, look at that, right? And you know, this system is just such a blessing, because this 1 hour from right here, man, just put in the selling. I remember when it was coming up, because it was on the 1-minute chart this morning when it was happening. And let's just put in a line here just to show, and then just move this back to the 1 minute, and you'll see what I'm talking about, man. I was there right when it was starting to come up. And I was seeing when it was coming up the line, I was like, man, you know, should be in the trade right now. But I was thinking, you know, and then see, a lot of this took place while that was going on. You see, it even went down way down here, right? Even during that time, you know, but man, the thing just after, I think this was the news. Yeah, it was the news. This was the news right here. This one, was the news. When the news came out, it shot up, shot down, and then it sold off a bit, not too much, and then it started buying, and it did not look back. It did not look back. It did not look back. I was like, man, look at this, right? Because you know, when I was looking at it this morning, let me go back to the 1 hour chart here. Go back to the 1 hour. When I was looking at it this morning, I'm saying, you know, I should be going into this 1 hour trade. I would have put my entry right. I was supposed to put it right above here, right? In fact, I put a line there that, you know, was saying that this is where I should have put it, right? And then if we go back to the 1 minute, if we go back to the 1 minute, 1 minute again to see where those two things cross each other. See? In fact, I would not have been caught in this. Maybe, yeah, it would have whipped me in here when the news started as a buy and pull me back down here, come back up, and then pull me down here and then come back up and win. But if one waited after the news, because the news causes some erratic stuff, right? But after all of that stuff settles down, then we get the true market, like about 10 o'clock. 9:30. This is, you know, this is a 1 minute chart. So this is like a few minutes after the news that the move started. the move started. Man, when I looked at this,
one of the things I have to pay attention to is the UTC time frame in order to take away the 4 hours in order to get the relevant time for the local time.
yeah, I think it's 7 hours. I think it's 7 hours to get the relevant time. Because if you just go to the end of the chart, right? Yeah. And you see the time now, it shows what is that? 22:16. Right, 23:16, right? So that's 11:15 p.m. in the night. And so it's 7 hours, 8 hours for me, minus from it to give you the time. Yeah. But this is just a super duper fantastic system that we have here to give us this opportunity to be able to make really great money. Because go ahead.
All right, that was good. Okay. What I was going to ask is that I know you are not my financial advisor, but I think in order to catch up with time, will you recommend regular, if you're using these small size account, in order to catch up, you mean that you have to increase your regularity in trading in order to
make money? Well, here it's so here's what you need to master. Yeah, here's what you need to master. It is consistency of knowing what to do at the right time. That's what we need to master. Because here's this, right? This one trade from here, okay, to here, you have to develop the discipline of doing them consistently. Now, if you have won, let's say 45 out of 50 of these, okay, then whether it's this one or some other one, but you've won 45 out of 50. Maybe you just went for 2 pips, not these big 100 pip moves, okay? But what happens is that once you've started doing the 1-2 pip moves, you're going to start to understand how to tap into these larger moves. But before you do that, you need to be able to catch the smaller 1 minute moves, right? You need to be able to catch those, all right? And let me just, what did I do with this line? I wanted to, one was supposed to be, I'll come back to that. I'll figure it out. I'm trying to make sure my lines lined up for when this market opens back up. This one, I want to put a buy here. All right, change that to green. While I'm probably here, I'm just lining up my stuff, right? So I know I'm gonna try to get a buy off here, and this one, if it breaks below here, I'm going for a sell. All right, so I'll leave that right. So if this comes down and closes below here, it's gonna go down further, and then I'll shoot for it to see if it's gonna come down to this here, and then here could give us another buy opportunity somewhere here. Okay, on a 15-minute time frame. So back to you now, Alan. Here's the thing. If you are able to pick this up, okay, let's go back to the 1 minute time frame. This one single trade, you got 2 pips here. And you do this 2 pips 45 out of 50 times successfully. Then your 0.1 lot size, if you put it at 0.1, you're going to earn 10 times the amount of money that you earned here with the same 2 pips. But what you need first before you do that is the consistency of winning the 45 trades or the 50 trades, for example, right? So that way you have developed the right habit of doing what you're supposed to do. Because if you're doing it wrong with a large amount of money, then it's more devastating. If you're doing it wrong with a small amount of money, then you are able to make your adjustments. So it's better to practice with a small amount of money and get it right, and then increase your lot size. Because here's how you grow your lot size. If your account is between $100 to $200, you do 0.01. When your account is $200 to $300, you do 0.02, 300 to 400, 0.03, So you're increasing your first, your double, how much you're earning. And you'll see it happen. You know, when you're doing these 2 pips, you see, okay, I'm earning $1, I'm earning $2, I'm earning $3. When you go to 0.02, you're gonna say, oh, I'm earning $4, I'm earning $6. When you go to 0.03, you're earning $9, I'm earning $12. When you go to 0.04, you're earning $16, you're earning $20. And when you go to 0.05, now you start going 20, 30, 40, $50 on a trade. The same trade. You're not doing anything different in terms of the actions and the activity. What you're now simply doing is increasing your lot size. So that's the key thing to do not try to earn more from the trade. Become consistent earning 2 pips, 1, 2, 3 pips on a trade, become good at doing that, then you grow your lot size. While you're doing that, you're going to be able to eventually, because I haven't started doing it yet, where I open 2 trades, right? I'll open 2 trades here. I'll take 2, 3 pips off one, and I'll let the other one run. Change the other one to entry, but I'm not yet figured out how to do that because this market moves so quick, and trying to fumble around the phone, trying to change numbers, put in the entry and all of that stuff. I'm just not fully comfortable with that. So I'm just doing 1 trade at a time, and it's still growing my account. So I'm very happy with that, even though it's not as fast as it could be, but it's still growing. Yeah. Right? Because last week and the week before, I was messing around some stuff that wasn't based on the system, and I rolled back, but I've been able to get back on track. So this week I'm back up, which I'm grateful for. So I just want to caution everyone, just stick with the rules. Just do it according to how it's designed to be done, and do not change it up. Right? Do not change it up. Do not change it up. And my eyes are still like, man, look at this 100 points that missed me. 100 points. Because I've started doing them, but sometimes I jump out. Sometimes it taps me out because it right here, when this was selling off, I expected a sell off, right? Hey, God's power, you're unmuted. You just keep muted so that we could be clear. Yeah, thanks. So when I entered the trade here for this sell, because I saw the red arrow, I said, nice. I put the trade in, but just to make sure that I stay in profit, I move my entry. I put my stop loss into stop profit, just about a small amount, right? I think it was about $2, very small. So I was trying to see if it would just continue selling off without tapping me out, but it pulled back up and pulled me out in profit, right? And I re-entered the trade again, and it put it in again. So I was still in profit. It wasn't going back in loss. But it didn't push down fast enough. It pulled back and tapped me out again. So sometimes that I'm still practicing that, right? So at some point I'm going to be able to put in this trade, let's say right here, put my take profit in, and it just keeps going away from my take profit, and I'm able to shift it down gradually and catch more and more pips, okay? Or up, as the case should have been earlier today, all right? But I didn't stay in, man. I was like, okay, I'm up, because I think I started off here and it pulled back. So I said, okay, now I'm in profit. Let me close my trade so I'll keep my profit, right? But then the thing just took off right after I closed, like almost like a smack in the face. It's like, what? Look at this. And it would just not come off this steamroller. It just jumped on this ride. Mr. Aaron Maddox called these the celebration ride, right? So we're all going to experience those. The only way you do not experience these is if you just stop. That's the only way. If you stay focused, stay committed, keep practicing, you can be staying a demo for a while before you go live, but not until you go live, your emotions are really embedded in it. And and that's when you really know start to trade, when your emotions are embedded in your trades, and you become a master of your emotions, because that's really the game, right? To master our emotions. So, man, it's a great season, great time for us. And yeah, so I was just sharing some of my experiences so far. I was just so excited to see this, and at the same time, man, 100 points, right? 100 points, right? Because this is super fantastic. When we do 100 of these at a standard lot, right? That's going to be $10,000 that would have earned, right? If you do a standard lot on NADS, you get 100 points. It's $10,000, guys, right? So earning $10,000 is not going to be that difficult, all right? It's just right here to right here, $10,000, and that was about 3 hours, right? And that's less than that. How much time was that? If you count all these candles, right? This is not even 100 minutes, all right? So it's about an hour, $10,000, 1 hour. So that is going to happen for everybody who just simply be patient, build your account from $100 or $200, learn how to trade with $100 or $200, and grow $100 or $200. And then once you can do that, you can grow. I mean, I've done $100 to $1,000. You guys saw that. So it's not 100, 189. So it's not like, you can't start with $200. You can, okay? But you have to be patient. And that's where a lot of us may run into challenges where we want the big results, but we do not want to go through the process. Because I could see clearly, because this is easily, for me right now, this is easily $400 or $500, easily now, right? That's because of where I've gotten to, but that wasn't overnight, all right? I had to go through a lot of mistakes and errors and, doing the wrong thing and then figuring it out. And then finally now settling in to where I'm fully comfortable, not fully, but very comfortable with the system and understanding some aspects of it, right? Like I was sharing with, could anybody see what's about to happen here? Can anybody tell me what's about to happen right here? Come up, you can tell me. Based on what you understand about the 4 indicators, the 4 things we need to look for. Tell me what's missing right now. Somebody tell me. This is the 5-minute chart. This is the 5-minute chart. Somebody come up, you can tell me what's missing.
The red on the 4th level.
Yes, right. So once the red on the 4th level happens, what should we do?
Confirm on the higher time frame.
All right, great. So let's go to the higher time frame. We could even go there from now, 15 minutes. What is it saying on the higher time?
It's a strong buy.
Good. So go back to the 5-minute and then look, what's interesting, look at the 1 minute, right? You see the 1 minute is selling off, okay? But what that is doing is selling off to set up the what?
Buy.
Right. So the 1 minute sell is not really a sell. What the 1 minute sell is just a setup for the 5-minute buy. So if you do not understand that, you'll be seeing the market selling and think, oh, they're selling. But this is a sell setup for later. Later on, you can come back to the 1 minute for a 1 minute sell, but you have to be careful if it's not lined up with the 5-minute. So right now, if this keeps selling and it breaks through and it keeps selling, then this may just break through this block. And if it does, then fine. You wait on the 15-minute to come up. But right now, if it doesn't break through, if this turns red and this comes down below, then I'm going to go ahead, click in this box, right? Click in this box, click trading, click new order. And then I'm going to simply click pending order. I'm going to click buy stop. I'm going to slide this off the screen, right? I'm going to slide it off the screen, way off the screen, so it doesn't mess me up. Then hit place. And then I'm going to drag it and place it just above that line. But I'm going to delete that right now. I don't got time to do that. Right? And then I would have put the trade in just above the line. And then I'm waiting for it to just come back up, push up, and give me some profit. I put in a take profit of about 3 pips or 4 pips, depending on how the market is looking. If it's looking like it's very vibrant and lively, I'll go for more. If it's very slow, I'll go for a small amount. Very good, Lisa, right? That's what we need to look for. And then, you should, what I recommend is that we always stay on the 1 minute chart to see what's going on, because the 1 minute candles move different from the 15-minute. And another thing that I'm noticing, everyone, is the S&P and the NAS chart. They move very similarly, and it can help you if you're looking at both of them, not at the same time, but kind of seeing, how they behave. Because sometimes what I'm picking up is that, let's say, for example, this 1 minute, this S&P will get to this 1 minute before the NAS, or vice versa. And when it gets here, there's a reaction. So sometimes when you see the market come like in mid-air and turn back, over here, it's touching something else, right? So it's like almost like these they're not a peer, but sometimes they're behaving similarly, right? These stocks, these stock indexes, right? Because investment firms are kind of behaving very similarly. They're trying to buy and sell almost at the same time. Right now, there's money shifting, I think, from bonds into stocks. So we're going to see stocks continue to maybe push up a bit. But while it's pushing up, there's going to be some going down as well. All right, here's a jump, right? Here's a little jump. Okay, so you could see that, it sold off and then it jumped up. There's a gap here. All right, and we're getting close to close of the market. So when the market closes and reopens, then we'll kind of know where we are and what it is that we could do. So this one had a gap going up. This one had a gap going down. So, there's sometimes some differences, so they don't mirror one another, but they can behave very similarly. All right. So, in fact, let me change the 1 minute. Let's make sure we're on 1 minute on both of them, right? Okay. So, in simple terms, everyone, what we need to do is make sure you have your technology. Practice. Can't emphasize that enough. And as you practice with it, you're going to become better and better, and you'll be able to make more money. All right. I'm just excited, really excited. This trade just lit my fire. That and I've done it to myself a few times, but I'm doing it less now. Where my goal right now is to jump into some of these trades and just let them run. Right, especially, and the times to do that is around news and when the bell rings at 9:30 in the morning. Right, that's when you get moves in the market that are big enough to give you this type of result. And then with the technology ahead of time telling you what's going to happen, like it in the news this morning, right? The 1 hour was what was called the buy during the news and the market. The 1 hour buy that was what carried the day. The 1 hour buy, and well, not the day, but for NAS and S&P was the 1 hour buy. So if we look on the 1 hour chart, very clear as day, is right there earlier on today, right? And I was planning to put the buy in, but man, is it going to really? Because when I looked at where the market was like way below where it was supposed to come up to. So I'm saying, is it going to come up there and push through here? And I watched it push through and it just took off and didn't turn back. So, man, I learned my lesson, right? Just trust the system, man. I trust issues, you could tell, right? All right, 300 and something points. So at 0.01, this would have been $300 just today, right? At 0.1, this would be $3,000. At 1, this would be $30,000. Okay, just here to here. All right, and the system gave it. Well, here's what's so beautiful. You're gonna risk it going back this way, okay, versus going all the way up to there. That's the risk. Come on, the reward versus the risk is really small. So if you're risking this, if the market could go this way, let's say, you have a small account, so you want to put in the 1 minute trades, right? You have a small account, you're going to put in this trade, and it's here. All right, you could risk $10 on the trade. So that means that your $100 or your $200 could last 20 of these trades. So you literally, if you have $200 in your account and you're risking $10 per trade, okay, which is around 10 pips per trade, then all you're really doing is that you have to lose 20, if you have a $200 account, you'd have to lose 20 trades in a row and not get any winning trades, okay? For you to lose and wipe out your account. So it's really, if you're disciplined and you follow those rules, you'll be okay. But if you get into this, because I got into a really bad practice, very bad practice, where I was allowing pullback, because you'll notice sometimes the trades pull back and go back up, right? So sometimes I was okay, you know, I'm gonna pull back, and it just keeps going, you know, like I'm in a sell, and then I'm expecting it to go down, and it starts pulling back. So okay, let's just pull back, it will come back down, it comes back up to here, so no, it's coming back down, and before you know it, you're just caught in this long pullback, right? And I've been in pullbacks that went way up and came back down at one, but sincerely, guys, don't do that. I'm telling you, don't do that. Put in a stop loss. If it comes down and it's not working, you know, just take the $10 hit and go again, or whatever, 10 pips, whatever that might be for you, or 15 or 20, whatever it is that you're risking the trade. Just let it go. Because what it will do is that it will open up more opportunities for you to go into fresh trades. But if you sit down trying to wait on a particular trade to come back and put you into profit, there's some rules you can follow. Like, for example, if you enter the trade and here stays green and the box stays green, go ahead, stay in the trade, right? You know, if the box turns red, like here were 3 winning trades, right? 1, came down, push back up, win. Turn red again, came down, push back up, win. Turn red again, you put in a trade, and then it came back up, wicked into the trade, but it turned red here. So you're in the trade, just close the trade and take the loss and move on. Don't say, oh, you know, it's going to come back up, because this is what could happen, right? Even though this came back up. But what if it went down, like real down? Would not be funny, right? Why would you $200 or your 400 or your 500 or your 1,000 or whatever you have in your account? So with just responsible practices, guys, we're great. The safe to trade technology is a huge blessing, and we're off to the races. We're off to the races, right? So any questions from anyone? Man, I'm just jacked out of my mind. All right. So finally, we have something that can help us to make money trading. Not that we couldn't have made money before, but for beginners like myself, you know, I'm really grateful for this now, because it makes my life so much simpler. And you know what, Alan, the question of speeding things up, as you go ahead, you're going to be able to start to, you know, some of these moves like the sell, you know, you'll be able to jump into some of those. You know when to jump into them if you stay on the charts enough time. All right, you know when to jump in, when to, you know when to pick up some other opportunities. You're going to start to understand the behavior of the charts. So, you know, so for example, I was able to get some of this sell. I got a couple of sells here, but also while that is happening, I'm waiting for the 5-minute buy. So while this is selling down, I know how it behaves to sell down. So I'll jump in and get a couple of quick sells when it's coming down, because my expectation is that it's going to come down to here. And you know, I also saw the 1 minute, and I realized, man, you know, after it bought up so many, these 1 minute trades so often, then at some point it has to reverse, and you could see the pattern reversing. Double tops, all right, lower highs, right, starting to create lower lows. And then once you see that happening, I expected the buck to break, which it did, and then the red arrow popped up. So this is a great opportunity to just get some quick sells, okay? And then it stabilized down here now to close the market. So as it opens back up, the expectation is that it's now at the 5-minute. So at some point, it's going to buy off of here. Okay, see, it bought off of here. It didn't touch the 5-minute, but it came close and it bought off. Right? See, it came about 5-minute, touched it, bought off. Right? So this line, this 5-minute line, right, with everything here green, oh, see, turned red now, Lisa. Right? So when the market reopens, that's the reason this is red is because these candlesticks really went below this line. Okay, but it's closed our market, so we're not seeing that. So when it opens back up at 6 o'clock, now, in fact, the market isn't closed yet, right? Market's still open, but it's not moving aggressive. So there's like 14 minutes left, all right? So the market's still open. So this is showing us right now that the 5 minutes is setting up for our buy, but we still have to be a little cautious, or you can't be aggressive with it. But I expect it to buy. I'm gonna take this trade. All right, I'm gonna take this trade for sure. All right, as I buy. and then the 15-minute is still not yet there. I mean, when the market opens back up, I'll look around to see what's going on a bit, see where, if there's going to be a further fall, or it's going to, because this 5 minute, it could break through this 5 minute. It's not a short thing, it's going to go back up. It could just, I've seen it just fall off like a cliff, right? Let me see if I can see one of them. This thing just drops like it fell off a cliff, right? Go to the 1 minute. You see, sometimes it just falls off a cliff. See, just like falling off a cliff, literally. You just see it in front of your eyes, like just die, take a nose dive, right here, right? Somebody, yeah, like here. See, just started falling like that. So sometimes that happens, and it just drives right through the 5 minute. So, so that could happen. So coming out of the close of session, the break of session, checking this properly to see what's happening. Not just be, Jamaica would say jumpy, ready to jump in. No, just be calm, patient, check out what's going on, allow some moves to happen, a couple of candles to go in either direction and give you some confirmation as to what's about to happen. And then you can go ahead and put in the order on the 5 minute time frame, right? Once it comes, the best way to do this is to wait until this comes below. But what happens sometimes, it comes here, touches here, and takes off. I've seen it happen a couple of times. So you could see, like right here, this may have turned red momentarily and just turned back into green because it didn't go under. It has to come under this line and stay under for a while for this to turn red. And then once that happens and everything else remains the same, and the higher time frame is a buy, it's going to go back up. So with that aligned, yes. But my concern about this continued buy is looking at let's look at the weekly chart, right? You could see that, or even if you look at the monthly chart, you could see that this is up here is an all-time high. So the market is close to its all-time high. Now, if it breaks above here, then it created a new all-time high. But the support for it to stay up this high, there's going to be some sell. See, a nice big sell started here, it caught back, came back up, right? So and if we look at some trend lines, you could see that this is the buy trend here. So it's above the buy trend, right? So there's room for it to sell down and then be caught somewhere down here, for support to come back up again. So I am very cautious about being very bullish. I'm going to just take my buys going up as the indicator shows, but also I'm looking for the potential sell coming back down. Right, when that starts, I'm ready for that. All right, I believe we're going to have a really nice sell, and it's going to sell for months. So we're going to be able to enjoy a good amount of money going this way, similarly to how we're enjoying money going in the buy direction. So great times. All right, anyone with a question? All right, so I think we're good to go, guys. Thank you very much for showing up. Really appreciate you. And we'll see each other on the call happening tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the main link.